Well, hello, my friends, and welcome to Siggy Air. Today we are in Rockford, Illinois, and at the Rockford International Airport. So the 50-state tour continues as we cross our 11th state, and we are departing today from the cargo-heavy runways of Rockford, Illinois, and taking the Beechcraft Baron north into the rolling hills of Wisconsin, my friends. It's going to be a short flight, and we'll be navigating past the Wisconsin border and tracking the Rock River. And we're going to be executing a scenic arrival over the city of Four Lakes. So watch for the stunning views of the Wisconsin State Capitol Dome as we line up for our final approach. So, and of course, we're going to be highlighting our props and paws, or our paws and props, so however you want to say that, highlighting adoption centers in this city. So if you're in the area, you can get your best co-pilot. But even if you're not, it's really good to know what cities around the country and what cities around the world are doing to promote pet adoptions and to save lives. And we are going to be highlighting Dane County Humane Society in Madison. And so as we taxi into the runway, we are going to show you a little bit of presentation about what they're doing there in Dane County. So let's get into the Baron. All right, let's get going. Let's get the Baron started. Well, it's a little bit the early morning here in the Northeast, and it's a lot of allergies in the air, a lot of pollen, so I'm a little bit slow, so that's all right. Battery goes on. We're going to turn on our avionics master so we can have our clearance here. And let's request our clearance.
Airbus 1123 on our way to Dane County Regional Truex. Airbus 1123, Rockford clearance. Clear to Dane County Regional Truex. Radar vectors change filled and is filed. Maintain 5000. Departure frequency 126.0. Squawk 1131.
Turn on our engines here. Fuel pump goes to low. Test that out. Mixture full forward. Prop full forward. We're going to have our thrust on the right engine full forward and high. Check out the fuel flow. Give it about 6 or 7 seconds. Bring it down about an inch and crank up the engine. All right, got a good start there. Usually the right engine gives me a little bit of trouble here, so let's see how it goes. Oh, got a good start here.
Airbus 1123, ready to taxi to the active. Airbus 1123, runway 25, taxi via Bravo.
All right, Bravo it is. All right, like I said before, we are going to take a little short video presentation I made for you on the Dane County Humane Society.
When you hear the words animal shelter, you likely picture a very specific, static scene. Dogs and cats waiting behind chain link fences until someone happens to walk by and pick one out. That is exactly what early animal control facilities were built to do. They operated as reactive holding pens, a place to put stray or abandoned animals after a crisis had already occurred. But relying on physical cages creates a structural bottleneck. An organization quickly runs out of square footage, and waiting for animals to become homeless ignores the reasons they end up there in the first place. The Dane County Humane Society operates under a philosophy summarized in 4 words: helping people help animals. To scale their life-saving capacity, they stopped treating their operation as a single building. Instead, they built a decentralized network that reaches across the entire community. In this system, the physical facility acts as the hub. It is a high-efficiency command center designed for swift transitions. The adoption process here replaces simple transactions with matchmaking science. Specialized adoption counselors conduct deep dive sessions with potential owners to evaluate their experience, lifestyle, and expectations. To keep the hub moving, they rely on strict mechanical routing. Adoptions are managed on a first-come, first-served waitlist, and every household must complete educational training before taking a pet home. The goal is velocity. Most animals leave the facility the same day they are adopted, heading home with their medical history and a starter supply of the exact food they eat. This guided, rapid placement creates successful matches. It keeps the return rate low and ensures physical cages remain open for true medical and behavioral emergencies. The organization's capacity extends further through volunteer foster homes. This network effectively multiplies the shelter's square footage into living rooms throughout the county. For vulnerable populations, like kittens requiring round-the-clock feeding or animals recovering from surgery, the high-traffic shelter environment can be detrimental. Placing them in a quiet, off-site home is a medical necessity. This flowchart shows how the network handles specialized interventions, like the Sheltering Animals of Abuse Victims program. Through this confidential hold, volunteers house pets for up to 90 days, giving victims time to secure safe housing without leaving pets behind to be used as leverage. By converting private homes into critical care units and safe havens, the organization proves that the most vital spaces in modern animal welfare often have no cages at all. Moving further out into the community, the organization targets resource deserts, neighborhoods like the 53713 zip code, where basic pet care is structurally difficult to access. This map highlights the core issues. 27% of residents live below the poverty line, with no veterinary clinics or pet stores. To counter this, the Pets for Life team goes door to door, delivering free pet food, wellness care, and spay-neuter services directly to residents. The economic logic is straightforward. It costs significantly less to supply resources so an animal can stay in a loving home than to process that animal after the family is forced to surrender it. By targeting poverty and geographical isolation directly, this outreach resolves the crisis before the animal ever needs to enter the shelter system. The final ring of this ecosystem focuses on long-term prevention through generational change. Shaping young minds is not a modern add-on for animal welfare. It has been a core mandate for humane societies from their inception. Today, the Dane County Humane Society executes this through expansive community programming. They run youth summer camps, host wildlife education workshops, and organize reading programs where children practice literacy by reading to shelter animals. These programs are a mechanical, long-term strategy. By building a foundation of empathy in children, the organization reduces the future burden on the shelter for decades to come. This model shows how these four elements fit together. The structure of a traditional pound is replaced by an interconnected machine. It operates as a symbiotic loop. Proactive outreach prevents intakes, foster networks multiply capacity, and early education lowers demand. The Dane County Humane Society functions as a comprehensive social services organization. Their work addresses the social and economic variables required to keep families and their pets together. Supporting this system, whether through adopting, fostering, or donating, fuels a community-wide safety net. The true measure of an animal shelter is not the number of animals it fits inside its walls. It is the power it gives the surrounding community.
All right, my friends, I hope you enjoyed that informational tidbit about the Dane County Humane Society. And yeah, if you're getting some great information here and you like this type of content, give us a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, subscribe. We're trying to grow. We're trying to, promote pet adoption and saving lives. So this is our way of doing that. We fly to different cities and kind of like do the Microsoft Flight Simulator, and then but we highlight those pet adoption centers, and yeah, help us out. All right, we're gonna get request our departure here.
Airbus 1123, ready for departure. Runway 25. Airbus 1123, runway 25, line up and wait. Runway 25, line up and wait. Airbus 1123. Air Transport 3323 Heavy, exit right at Alpha. Exit right at Alpha. Air Transport 3323 Heavy.
All right, landing lights go on, taxi lights go off. Set of flaps here. Everything
Air
looks good.
Transport 3323 Heavy, monitor ground 121.9.
No need the pitot
Good
heats.
morning. Ground 121.9, Air Transport 3323 Heavy. Airbus 1123 Rockford Tower, wind 220 at 5, fly runway heading, runway 25, cleared for takeoff. Caution wake turbulence. Fly runway heading, runway 25, cleared for takeoff, Airbus 1123.
All right, let's get going. Set power. Fuel flow is good. V1 rotate. Hey. A little bit of a jerky movement here in our rotation. Yeah. All right. Positive rate. We're clear of the runway. Gear is up. Trimming our aircraft here for 10 degrees climb rate.
Airbus 1123, turn left, heading 235. Turn left, heading 235, Airbus 1123.
So as I was saying, we are going to be about 15 minutes into our flight. We're going to cross over the city of Janesville. And we're going to see the Rock River cutting through the town here. So that's the Rock River there. And then our checkpoint number 2 is going to be Lake Hush Congo. And that's going to be about 10 miles north of Janesville. And we'll see a large shallow lake. It's going to be right due in front of us about 12 o'clock there. About 10 miles from north.
Clear direct Janesville. Resume all navigation. Roger, heading direct Janesville, then resume all navigation. Airbus 1123, thanks.
All right, so
My
we've
pleasure.
got our clearance there to go direct to our VOR there in Janesville. So we are going to set that up. Janesville is about 18 miles from us right now. Our course for it is 010, so we'll set that up here. So our checkpoint number 3 is the Isthmus, downtown Madison. And as we begin our final descent, we'll see the city of Madison wedged in between the Lake Monona, sorry about that, Lake Monona. See, AI would not make a mistake, so you know this is not AI. And Lake Mendota, it's gonna be to the north, Lake Monona to the south, Lake Mendota to the north. And we'll see the white granite dome of the Wisconsin State Capitol there. All right, let's put on some music here. Let's sit back. Our passengers are going to do some relaxing here. Open the table. Bring out the laptop. We don't have any Wi-Fi though. And yeah, we'll see you on our approach and descent into Madison. Okay, we've been given our approach clearance here.
Airbus 1123, airport is at your 12 o'clock 19 miles. Report the field in sight.
I can't see 19 miles. Come on, I'm gonna be looking for the field. Anyway,
Looking
so
for field, Airbus 1123. Envoy 3580, descend maintain flight level 190.
we are
Descend maintain flight level 190, Envoy 3580.
landing on runway 32. All right, so as you can see, we got Lake Monona to the north here and Lake Mendota over here. So we are landing runway 32. It all looks good now, my friends. Except that our temperature inside is 101. Oh my god, it's gonna get... I didn't pay attention to that. So tell our passengers to stow everything up. Yeah, we are about 11 miles from the MSN VOR. And one thing I've noticed recently is I don't get the aircraft position here on the chart, so I am not sure why is that. Let's see. For some reason, it lost the ability to show that information, but we need to be around 6.1 miles from MSN in Madison. And there we have it, my friends. There is Madison, Wisconsin. And there's our airport. That's runway 32, so I'm just going to do a visual.
Envoy 3580, turn right heading 315. Turn right heading 315, Envoy 3580. Envoy 3580, descend and maintain 1,900 feet, altimeter 2962. Descend and maintain 1,900 feet.
All right, that's the runway in sight. Flaps are down. Gear is down. Landing lights are on. Full flaps. Exactly. Of course. This is CG Air, my friends. All right. Flaps are up. Welcome to Wisconsin, my friends. Madison, Wisconsin. And yeah, taxi lights are on. Weather radar is off. And let's go and taxi to our spot here.
Runway 3580, airport is at your 12 o'clock 2 miles. Report the field in sight.
I think we are going to be to our right over here.
3580, cleared visual approach runway 32. Cleared visual approach 32, Envoy 3580. Envoy 3580, 3, good day. Contact Tower 119.3 on voice 3580.
Yeah, beyond ATC is a little bit off, and usually fairly reliable. Sometimes it just, for some reason, it just loses tracking. I think it's been happening more often now after the latest update. I still refusing to use, say, Intentions AI with their subscription model. In this economy, my friends, no subscription. I'm trying to eliminate subscriptions in my life. And I usually, when I'm not doing videos, I usually fly with FS Hut, but for some reason, FS Hut and my OBS software here for recording these videos do not agree. I always get crash to desktop when I use that particular setup. So beyond ATC works okay. And wow, this place is crowded today.
Madison, Lindbergh 533. Good morning. Flight level 265 with the numbers.
Oh, to our left. I'm sorry, to our right. Parking brake is on. Let's see, where are we in relation to the tower? We're kind of far away from that tower. There we are. All right, let's power down. And yeah, thank you, my friends, for flying Sea Air, staying with us for this little short flight here. I hope you got some great information about the Humane Society in Dane County here. And yeah, if you are in the area, there you go. Find your best co-pilot. But they're doing some interesting things here in Dane County, and it's always good to know what they're doing. All right, my friends, thank you for flying Sea Air. Remember, Sea Air will get you there. Sea Air is best in the air, and I really don't make this stuff up. I'm only told what to say. We'll see you on the next one. We're going into Minnesota. The next flight is going to be Minnesota, so join us when we do that.